Alright, what is going on, guys? So today we should hopefully be putting the engine in Turdzilla over here. I actually have work. It's early in the morning right now, but I'm gonna be heading over to work. I'm gonna pass the camera off to Nick, which it might not be, you know, perfect footage, but he's gonna give it a try, and he's gonna try getting the engine in this while I'm at work, and hopefully I can come back. Unfortunately, I can't be here, but hopefully we can get that done. And then all we'll have to do is finish up some wiring and some other things on it. It looks so nice with the long tubes on it. So now is the time to finally move this over to there. And it looks like it has a flat, so we're gonna pump that up. Nick and I just discovered that the car is pretty heavy. Alright, we got her in line on the lift. That's exciting. The good old 2-valve. So Nick likes to drain all the AC out of the car. That way you can basically unhook everything, is that right?
Yeah, that way you don't have to take the compressor off or anything in the car. Just pull it all with the motor.
I don't see any coolant in there. Nick said he's gonna go hyper speed. This can be taken off from here. It's been a while since I've been here. So basically you just twist the knob off here. Take this piece off. Then I grabbed a 8 and 10 millimeter to go ahead and get these off fairly quickly. Once those 4 bolts come off, then you'll take this part out. As you can see on this car, this one's a little bit ripped, which can cause some noise to get into the cabin here. And then we have a set of, these might actually be 13s? Yes, they are 13s. So we're gonna go get that and take those out, and then the shifter's out. All right, just like that, the shifter's out. Let's go check on what Nick's doing. All right, and you like to disconnect the harness from the one point here, right? So then you can just drop everything out and not have to unplug everything. Everyone has different preferences on how to do it. Nick likes the easy way, right?
Do it all at once.
So there's what? Connection there, connection over on the fuse box and battery.
Oh man.
She's a hoe, by the way. Alright, so we got the BBK cooled air out of there. We're not going to be needing that anymore. If anyone of you guys wants to buy that, I'll sell that. The whole BBK cold air intake without the mass airflow sensor. And let's see, Nick just disconnected the fuel line here. You just use a fuel line disconnect tool. Took out the radiator hose. Was there any fluid in this thing?
No.
That's hilarious. I think it all burnt out. Nick's attempting to take the fuse box bolt off here.
It's a little stuck.
Yeah, it's a little stuck. There it is. And it didn't snap.
Impact good.
Goodbye, 2-valve. And after that's disconnected, alternator's out, unplugged over there. Do you have any other connections on here?
There's ground right here.
Ground there. And we have the Cobra throttle cable for this car. That way that'll perfectly fit up to where the throttle body is on this engine. I think it's hilarious that this thing had like no coolant in it.
And I was running on hopes and dreams.
There was coolant in it until it burned it all out right through the pistons. It literally came out of the exhaust. Oh, it's nice to have a lift. And we can still see our beautiful UPRK member. Fucking shocks and struts. And coil. So we're going to be dropping the K member out of this. So So basically, I'm gonna unbolt the brakes, unbolt a few different things. There's 1, 2, 3, what is there, 4 points where the K-member bolts up to?
There's there's 2 bolts here, 2 here, so 8 bolts total.
Nice. I just want to point out that we started this at 9:30, and at 9:50, we're making some good progress.
Or he did fall, actually.
We're getting much closer.
Didn't hit the ground.
What's that? Steering shaft. Gotta unbolt that. Supposedly that's the only real issue with the headers going in, the steering shaft, but
you're gonna have to go through them.
In theory, if these are already on a car, they should already be clearanced.
Right there. 200 feet in.
Yep. That's what it's called, clearancing. AKA smacking the shit out of it until it fits. Or if the headers are built right, it fits. But it's never that case, right? This shit's covered in oil. I wonder if we blew something up in the back there. Oh, well, it had a rear main seal leak, so when it got hot, it might have just started pushing oil right out the back, right?
You could. We'll see though.
Take the off-road H-pipe off. We still have our new motor mounts from when we just did the K-member not too long ago. We need to clean this thing up. This thing's filthy. Dang, it's so covered in oil, that's crazy. Is there a hole somewhere up there? I don't know, I see so much oil around this area. There is a general rule with this car: if it's been touched before and we haven't touched it yet, then it's most likely messed up. In this case, there's a nut on the top of the exhaust manifold, and yeah, it makes it a pain to get out. Luckily, we have the tubular K-member, so we can get right in there. If it was the stock K-member, all this would be covered. You wouldn't even be able to see this right now. There goes the X-pipe. Is this broken? Oh yeah, that's definitely broken. The good old gasket, it's gone. We're gonna unbolt the drive shaft. There it is. And the drive shaft's out. So this car actually does have an energy suspension transmount. I don't know if it really helps anything. Nick, does that help anything?
Better than stock.
Better than stock. And then we're gonna lower this down. What's all this oil from? Do you see all this? Is there a brake line leak?
No, probably oil transferring down the drive shaft.
Oh yeah, true. Slinging it everywhere. And this transmission here has a blown 5th gear, and it gives off that crazy supercharger whine-like noise, right? Right, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
That everyone always asks about.
Whoever did this didn't put the bolt back in. They didn't put the pain in the ass bolt back in.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we'll see if there's any water in this thing. What do you think? None at all?
Probably a little bit.
Alright, it had a little bit in the lower radiator hose. The rest of it burnt right out. Sounds like it's jack stand time. Alright, Nick's arranging the jack stands now to support the K-member and engine and trans. And Nick's just taking out the last 2 bolts, right?
Yep.
And the car is free.
Stop.
Oh, yep, I saw that. You want me to go back down?
What's it hold on?
Oh, the brake caliper? And she's out. What's the time? 10:43, a little over an hour. And she's out. So there it is, the old 2-valve. Alright, we're just gonna yank this thing out of there, right? Not very scientific. I really wonder where all the oil came from. That kind of came down. Good old seatbelt. I think the K member might fall, but no, I think it's good now. Yep, pretty good. 2-valve is out. K member is empty. All right, so there the 2-valve sits. Got the new thing over here. Oh, we do need to take the because we have to use that flywheel. It's the 6-bolt. Yep.
Open up the mock clutch here. Stickers, strut bearing. That's what we're looking for. Pilot bearings in now. Take a socket, put it around there and tap it in. Okay, we pulled the rear main seal off because it needed a new one. Pulled the whole plate, knocked the seal out. As you can see right here. Washed it down a little bit. We're waiting on the new one to get here. I'll throw those together, get this thing back on the K member. Alright, so we got the new rear main seal in, nicely greased up. Took the plate off, cleaned it, RTV'd around it. Now we're gonna get the flywheel on. Alright, so we got the flywheel bolted down, Loctited all 6 of these. Now we're gonna install the clutch. Clutch is on, nice and centered. VIII series. Got the motor in the cradle. Now we're gonna get the tranny lined up and on there after we bolt down the 2 engine bolts. Alright, we got the starter on, transmission mounted. Now we're gonna bring the car down onto the engine and trans.
Hey guys, so this is Anthony from Adeline Garage. I'm filling in for Andrew while he's at work. Working on Turdzilla here. In the process of putting the long tube headers on, and then hopefully we'll get the engine back in the car here soon. Alright guys, so long tube headers are installed, got everything out of the way. I'm going to start dropping the, so I don't trip over anything, start dropping the car onto the engine.
Steering. Right. Feel away. gotta go through that header, I think, or something.
Oh, hold on.
Closer.
It's still steering shaft.
Yeah, you got about
on the cover gasket. Here's the cover right there.
About an inch to go. Oh, hang on, stop. We're gonna crush that brake line right here.
Is it underneath it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
Hey, we're gonna push it back a little bit because these brake lines, especially on the other side, are really close.
It's the K-member, because the K-members are different. They actually require you to like force them around the brake line a little. Even mine was like that.
All right, so we got to the point where we're starting to put the K-member bolts in. That is, if they don't break off.
You want a screwdriver? Black one?
I think Andrew should develop a
Yes, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Adeline Garage, which is... Alright, if you guys want a shout out on the vlog, type whatever you guys want. The camera's about ready to die.
Thank you. There's your reply.
Yeah, we brought our camera. Alright, so all of the K-member bolts are in. Working on lining up the cross-member bolts now. I think we're kind of blurry here.
Okay, so we're 3 steps away from 300. We'd really like to hit 2.
Alright, so we're working on putting the drive shaft in now. Line the bolts up. It's actually working pretty well.
Oh shit, it bolts right up. That's nice. It bolts right up to his cat.
I love it when a plan works comes together.
That's the easiest exhaust swap ever.
Oh gosh. Alright, the last couple times we messed with exhaust, especially on the 2 valve.
Yeah, your car, I don't know what the heck was up with your car. Here to pull the engine and then get that top starter bolt out.
It's actually, if you want a trick to that, take the starter solenoid off with a screwdriver. The 2 screw heads, take that starter solenoid off. You can get to them all with a 1/4 inch deep well and a 1/4 inch socket. Easy. Look at those Vikings though. Andrew got the best suspension.
Newer ones are much better.
Putting the strut on the spindle. Trying to at least.
Okay, so to anybody who's interested in seeing pictures of that build,
I don't know if that was possible. Alright, so pads and calipers are in. Alright, so we're bolting the power steering pump back on.
hey, they want to know what your carry is.
Alright, we're running the clutch line now.
Weight transfer like a boss. He likes to road race.
Very good.
So Andrew's in need of some new lug nuts. If anyone wants to donate one size to him, it would be very much appreciated.
You know, Andrew, the cheap locking ones, the auto parts store aren't that expensive. Just saying. I personally haven't broken any yet either, so, and you know what I do with my car.
Touchdown.
There it is.
There you have it, guys.
That's it for today.
Engine's in. Still waiting on the intake manifold,
Yep.
gaskets.
Auto's been slacking a little on that one.
But yeah, looks good.
Now for the fun stuff. Wiring this thing.
Alright guys, so if you haven't already, go like my personal YouTube channel. It's Out of Line Garage.
His personal YouTube channel.
With these two.
You have a personal. That's not.
Well, I do have a personal YouTube channel, which is the link is actually on ours as well. But yeah, so go like ours, please. Our YouTube channel. You can like mine if you really want to. But yeah, you guys have anything to say? No?
We're thirsty.
Yes.
We're hungry.
We're hungry. We're thirsty. We're tired. I have to pee. Yeah.
Good. All right.
But the engine's in. I'm so not used to this G7X, like looking up, but I'm actually supposed to be looking here. Yeah.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history. Yeah.